today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about Bitcoin and crypto. A lot of things are happening at the moment, and we are right in front of a day, which is tomorrow, that could give us more volatility. So we have to talk about what's happening tomorrow. And we have to talk about why this rally that we are expecting throughout the next 2.5 months is going to go probably even longer. The charts are showing it, and I think we have to have a look into that as well to be prepared. So make sure to stay all the way through here. Also, we are going to talk about altcoins. We're going to talk about Solana. We're going to talk about Litecoin. We're going to talk about Trump coin. A lot of the altcoins need to be covered here, so make sure to stay all the way until that happens, until we finally talk also a little bit more about Ecomi and Veve. See you there. So, good morning to each and every one of you, and I can already tell you I have a couple of video snippets that are extremely bullish and nice to look at. Also, we have a nice subscriber number already here, which is also looking absolutely fine. But may I ask you please to support this channel in the following way. Smash up the like button, it's absolutely free. If you do that, you help the channel tremendously. Let's see the chat also, because a couple of people are already here. So we have Pro Legendary in the house. Sup boys, PogChamp, absolutely. Good morning to you. Trucking Hank, good morning as always. My trusted soldier here. And hashtag 33 Patrick, good morning to you as well. Patrick, good to see you. Deep sip of coffee here, guys. How are you doing? Let me know. Make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, right? Even though then this good mint number here is going away. Oh, there we go. It just came in. Someone subscribed. Welcome to the fam. And with that, let's jump right into the action. So, not much has changed since yesterday. Obviously, also when you're looking at the monthly chart, it can't be. The setup is giga bullish. It's giga bullish. I mean, no one can tell me that this is not giga bullish. The continuation just has to go right now from this massive inverse head and shoulders. We are awaiting the cross as discussed in live stream and video here already. We're not overbought in any way. So on the monthly, we are looking extremely fine. But why do we expect an even longer continuation? Because the following is happening right now, and that is gold has started to rally again. And it seems, at least it seems, that gold wants to take out its previous high after it has been sold off quite a bit. So maybe this is not even the top. Maybe the gold rally will continue more, implying that there is more, if this correlation continues in such a manner that there is more to come. Let's put this a little bit lower here also. Sorry, that was out of balance. I'm trying to align this so we can see the entire chart. There we go. So as we see here, this is more or less how we are looking at the moment, right? Bitcoin in pink, gold here. Gold is continuing to rally. Some other people here. Hey Adam, what is going on? Also, like all the gold medal rare hodlers, they are here. Good to see you. As well as new sub from Bolivia. Welcome to the fam and greetings. Buenos dias to Bolivia. I think it's in the middle of the night in Bolivia, to be honest. I mean, aren't you 5 hours behind us or something like that? Well, no matter what, let's give our greetings to Bolivia and to Washington State. Bully assassins coming in from Washington State. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Apparently we have half the world here. That's good. Looking at a potential continuation of the gold rally, I think it, as much as Bitcoin, also gold will depend a little bit on how the following goes tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have the FOMC meeting rate decision plus press conference around 8 p.m. Central European time, which could shake up the market and which could bring us some volatility depending more. It's not so much about the rate decision in itself. Probably rates will be stable, stay stable. There's only a 3% chance or so that there is a rate cut. Rates will stay the same, which is expected. But if Powell says one or the other thing or hinting at probably rate cut very, very soon, whatever, it can shake up the market and bring more volatility. So it's probably going to take until 8:30 p.m., when the press conference starts. So this is something that we have to keep in mind. Let's see. Congratulations on that Stormtrooper drop. Hell of a snatch. Yeah, thank you very much. I think that was a good one. If you haven't seen that, you can watch my drop streams. There's a separate playlist for that as well. And yeah, that's definitely something. Then we had Michael Saylor yesterday buying up more Bitcoin, putting the chat quickly in the middle of all of this. And you see, like he himself said, too much blue, not enough orange. If he says that, he's just buying. So he's just buying all the way here. And yeah, this is something where people really wonder, why are you doing this? I mean, if you have this bulls and bears, right? Why is he buying so much? And there are some theories. I can maybe go into this first. That this might only be the beginning of the bull. So look at this. This is Adam back here giving interview. So check this out. It's a little bit low, the voice, but hopefully you can tune up your video a little bit here.
But I think we're certainly in the early stages of a bull market at this point. You know, typically the bull market cycle lasts for a certain period after the halving, and so we're still in the early innings. I think there's very stiff inflows from ETFs buying about 2 times the Bitcoin mined per day. MicroStrategy and the other Bitcoin treasury companies buying another 2 times, and the retail buyers and dollar cost average investors. So really there's a lot of inflow. I think, you know, temporarily there's some consolidation because some earlier investors, sort of midterm investors, profit taking. But, you know, that overlay would set us up for a price where you start to see Bitcoin competing with gold, perhaps pulling money out of gold ETFs into Bitcoin ETFs. And then, of course, if the treasuries come in, like the sovereign treasuries, the Bitcoin reserves, that would be something where you'd see sovereign competition. And as soon as one of the bigger countries jumps in, I think the others will feel forced to follow suit. So that would, you know, all bets would be off if that happens. Now, of course, institutional adoption, I think the family offices are faster, more agile, but the institutions are in play. You can see that the ETF 13F filings, which shows you the institutions that have bought Bitcoin via the ETFs, is about 30% institutional. I think there's a lot more capital in the institutional space of pension funds and mutual funds. So there's a lot of room for capital to come in, in this cycle and into the next cycle.
Yeah, this is the big question, right? I hope you could hear this because it's really low. I mean, she even goes to the ear because she also can't hear him really much here on TV already. But he basically said that he expects institutional competition and sovereign competition around Bitcoin. The only question is when exactly will the supply shock of this come together with the liquidity hit on the market. And I think this is why we're creeping up so slowly, because this is stretched out over such a long time, and these buys are happening all the time on the side. And at the same time, as he says, we have all these profit takers, right? But at the same time, we also have CZ predicting, and this is a little bit more from let's say maybe how exchanges looking at it. And we know CZ is a bull, but also we know that CZ isn't really the one who gives the outrageous predictions. But listen to this, is only 13 seconds.
Okay, what do you think the price of Bitcoin tops at this cycle?
Again, very difficult question. Somewhere between 500K to $1 million, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What do
you could see that you could see that this guy has some Bitcoin, because he was like more than excited about this. But somewhere between 500K and $1 million, that's nuts, right? Because I mean, we have like I probably get completely wrecked on my super conservative target of 135K that I have on this channel, but I hope I do, because 500K Bitcoin would mean that probably if there is an altcoin season of a similar extent in the end, it is probably going to be massive. But then also we have here a snippet of Michael Saylor and why, why it's going against real estate, or not against, but like instead of. I think these explanations of Saylor are very interesting, because they give a little bit more of a glimpse on how you could view the world if you have a certain amount of money, and what it shifts like. And also then we can look a little bit later. I have a graphic also of a revised graphic of the assets and the asset allocation, and what he says means technically if some of the money is reallocated from real estate into Bitcoin instead, right? So let's listen to this as well.
I know wealthy people, they own 16 estates on the Eastern Shore, and they live in 2 of them. Like, why do they buy them? They land banking. What does that mean? Well, the guy makes a lot of money every year, and he doesn't want to put it in a savings account, so he goes and he just buys a cool piece of property, and he buys another one. Well, okay, it sounds good, but here's the problem. The guy buys up the beautiful pieces of property, and so you can't afford it.
Right.
And if the rich guy wasn't buying up all the beautiful houses, they would cost half as much. And you could live in a beautiful house. So here's what happens. Some rich dude has 27 houses that are empty. You don't have a beautiful house. You have a family. Your kids, your dog could use the beautiful house. The rich dude doesn't even want the house. He just wants a long-term capital preservation strategy, right? And so that's a perverse incentive and a distorted economy. That's broken. That's broken money. That's because the rich dude is using an estate on the Eastern Shore of Maryland as a piggy bank.
Yep.
Huh? But the estate doesn't get renovated. The house is falling down. There's a beautiful pool on the water, and you could have a great family picnic there every Sunday, but it's not going to happen because the rich dude has 16 other houses. He just bought that house because he thought it was a good investment. Okay, that's wrong.
Okay, so I think the last sentence is the most important one, right? The guy being this rich dude or another one, right, or even a fund, he's buying the houses to have a capital preservation strategy, right, that works and that gives X amount of return. I think the important thing here to see is that in general, almost everyone who buys property buys it for the right or wrong reasons as some form of capital preservation strategy, right? At the moment that you are not buying it only to live in, but a second or a third one. They're either to create some cash flow or to preserve capital, but either way, if you get a cash flow from that, you probably also make the calculation how much cash flow until you basically paid off this one, and it gives you a free cash flow and so on. This could shift, right? And this is what you're saying. This could shift because if you see if Bitcoin proves again for another 4 years that the CAGR is, so the compound annual growth rate is beyond 25%, then more people might reallocate in that sense. So there might be people that say, let's sell a flat or a house of the 10 or 50 that I have and buy some Bitcoin with it, and then they are comparing it, and depending on that they might be shifting towards one or the other, right? So let me quickly check this out. I have this here, global asset, there we go. So here's the global asset comparison then, regarding what we've just heard and what we say. And we see here real estate is 370 trillion, right? So let's just assume that in accordance with the 1 or 2% strategy, there is 1% of real estate over time being converted into that. That would be 3.7 trillion extra. Only 1%, right? 1% of it all would be 3.7 trillion extra. That alone would more than double Bitcoin's price. Just if some reallocation in that sense happened. Only 1%, which is not unrealistic at all, because 1% of all the real estate in that form, right? We're not even talking about the 22 trillion gold that we have here, and that Bitcoin very likely is going to catch up to the next level, which is an 11x. We're not talking about that some of art cards collectibles are mere investment purpose or mere capital preservation purpose, which I would also expect maybe a couple of percent to go out in that way, or to other stuff like digital collecting, right? We have the equity, we have bonds, where I would say in terms of bonds, probably way more than 1% will shift towards such a strategy. And then there is 130 trillion in pure cash, which over time should be allocated in something else because it's going to be printed away, right? So if you're just assuming that 1 or 2% of each of these, which is an absolute bearish underestimation in my opinion, but let's just assume that you would have, I don't know, all summed up here together about 10 trillion or so that is hitting this, bringing it to half the cap of gold, bringing this on a 5x, which would lead to CZ's 500,000 or so. Not in this cycle maybe, but maybe the next cycle. It depends on how the adoption continues, right? And this taking a little bit longer, I made the point already in another video, is not bad for us, right? No one should cry about as US state not putting in the reserve, or some company like Microsoft rejecting putting Bitcoin on balance sheet, because the moment this happens, it's way harder for us to stack Satoshis, right? For us to get more out of this, right? Position ourselves in this at 2 trillion is way better than at 10 trillion market cap, right? So we shouldn't be sad if it takes longer. The direction is already there. If it takes longer, we can stack longer. But I think time's running out because I think Bitcoin will go up, will pump. It's just a matter of time. So let's see. Let's talk a little bit about some things that are happening in the alts. By the way, I did jump over one thing, and that is this one here, right? It's odds in general. We're looking here at the RWA league, and the total value of tokenized real-world assets has surpassed 22 billion now, and we're kind of in the same schematic or in the same topic still, right? How do you get more returns and so on? What will be the biggest plays in the next or in this bull run in an altcoin season? And I think RWA is going to be one of those, right? And the biggest players here are Ethereum, ZK Sync, but we also have Stellar, Algorand, Aptos, Solana, Polygon, Arbitrum, Avalanche, and XRP here. I do think that RWA is going to grow massively, and that are many projects in the pipeline regarding RWA that are still waiting to deploy all their news, maybe also Pendle and stuff like that, right? If you want to count them into that. So tokenized real-world assets are going to probably be the deal. Besides AI, besides gaming, I still think that these are coming in hard. So regarding Trump coin, there is already, like, they are adding, or he's adding value to his coin in the sense of you can get a dinner if you're a top holder. And there was already, yesterday there was already this crypto and AI innovators dinner with crypto czar David Sachs. And there is on May 22 a gala requiring Trump token ownership for entry with access determined by blockchain leaderboard, right? So this is the one which is also, I mean, we're talking about this and people are like, wow, giving value to own token like this and so on, right? But you have to see the underlying point here. This is the president of the United States. The president of the United States has a token, has established a crypto reserve, has done many things around crypto already. He has his own token and gives value to it by offering perks, right? So you own this, you get something out of it. And he does it on the token, he doesn't even do it on an NFT or so, right? So he could also, I mean, he has his own NFT collection already, but he does it on the token, right? Yeah. Andreas says, I think altcoin season starts when BTC dominance hits 66%. Maybe. I think even 70% is absolutely viable. We will see in a second, right? But we have to really let that sink in. I mean, we are, and this is why I say all the altcoin projects can't stop worrying now. Because you have this token. I mean, you don't have all the staking, burn mechanics, whatever, be buyback, whatever. But there is a token utility attached to it and so on. It's on exchanges, yada yada. So, and it's basically backed by the president of the United States, right? And it will be next to impossible to roll back all the things that are happening during this administration. It's next to impossible, and also the question is even how the next administration looks, maybe even a continuation of bullishness for crypto. Then, unfortunately, we have this, SEC further delays Litecoin ETF and requests public comments just because some followers here, they are somehow bullish on Litecoin. I wanted to hint this. Experts predict Litecoin to have the best chances of approval by the end of this year. So again, right, all these, the altcoin ETFs being approved throughout summer until end of the year is probably how liquidity flows into the altcoins and the altcoin season starts, in my opinion. I think the vehicle is just going to be different. This one is a little bit disturbing. So be very careful out there with your money, because look at this, right? A crypto trader gets sandwich attacked while making a stable coin swap, losing over $215,000 to an MEV bot. So he just wants to swap USDC to USDT. $220,000 was swapped, but only $5,271 comes out on the other side in 8 seconds as the MEV bot successfully front ran the transaction, right? And I was like, also, how is this possible? And is this only a DEX issue and so on, right? And so here's some explanations in the chat. For those curious, victim puts in a swap transaction and it goes to the mempool. Minified example, swap 100 USDC to USDT, expect 100 USDT. The attacker scans the mempool, notices this transaction, immediately puts in a transaction purchasing 300 USDT with higher gas fees, getting priority over the victim's transaction and thus executing first. This imbalances the pool as the perceived value of USDT increases, high demand, low supply. The victim's transaction is then executed with them getting much less USDT than they expected thanks to the artificial price increase within this pool with low liquidity, right? Attacker sells the 300 USDT they obtained and they get a much higher value for it. You can prevent this from happening by setting the slippage limits or using private RPCs. So, and that's important, right? You don't need the slippage when you swap stable to stable, right? You don't need it, right? It's better to not have a swap at all, but you don't need it. But probably the one here scammed did not set any slippage or very high threshold or so. And this is how basically the attacking bot could scam this money, right? So liquidity pools contain much higher amounts, and the example with 100 to 300 USDC is obviously not the one where the bot would strike. But if you're dealing with higher sums, which some of you are, I know, then be very careful of this, right? This is crazy. Yeah. So be cautious out there. Also, another one which is very interesting here is what's happening on Solana. And here we have a VanEck report about the transaction volumes and so on. It's also interesting, right? Meme coins remain the primary driver of Solana's on-chain revenues. In January 2025, they accounted for 44% of decentralized exchange trading volume and 35% in April 2025. If we exclude stablecoins, SOL and SOL liquid staking tokens, often on the other side of trades, meme coins represent 99% of Solana's trading activity in January, 95% in April. While some question the sustainability of this trend, Solana has proven its unmatched ability to process large volumes of decentralized trading. This positions Solana as the most likely home for the next breakout trading application. So we see Solana is really living off of the massive meme coin transaction or transactions. So we see it here. Dark green is meme coin and low cap tokens. And then the purple is whiff and bonk. Only that, right? Only that thing. It did get lower a little bit before. Then we have the SOL in itself is orange and stable coins in yellow. So you have basically stable, SOL, and memes, right? And then very small is LST DPIN tokens, which is very likely helium, basically helium only, the very small one here. And then DeFi tokens, which is the gray baseline there, very, very small amount. So really the meme coin hype is running on Solana. We see it here. And it's probably going to continue. Like the moment that the excitement comes back to the market and meme coins are exploding again, very likely Solana is also getting the stats up once again on that. Very, very likely, right? So now one more view at, because Andreas commented on alt season. I don't see why 66% exact should be a thing, because we see it here, right? We are very close to it, but there's not really, like, why should that be the turning point? I mean, technically there is more upside up to the 71%, which is what I would expect now that we broke through it. So this is basically the Bitcoin dominance. Another one to look at for us here is not Floki, but the DXY, just because yeah, we have our first real breakdown since a long time, right? So if you look at this, we only had, over all this time, we only had fake outs, and now we have a breakout, and this breakout is likely going to back tests here, and then we fall more on the DXY, and that's where the real, like, the massive run is happening, right? We saw this massive recovery on the DXY falling here. We are very likely going to see the run if DXY falls all the way down to the, what is that level here, to the 90 level, and this is our last bull run, right? This is our last bear market. So you really have this way, and I think we are going to collapse here and then bounce, right? Will that happen in this exact way? We don't know, but I mean, we have seen this as massive support before, here, and here. I could imagine that the dollar falls down to this level again. Put the BTC.D graph on. If you drag a downtrend line from previous alt season, you will see that yeah, but we had that before. I will do it, 1 second. Oops, where it is, there it is. Yeah, you mean from here, right? I mean, there is, you mean like this, then you end up at 68. I mean, what exactly, which downtrend, or do you want to, like, I mean, we had that before, or do you mean like from the top there? I mean, there is nothing, the high from July 17, then the high from January 2021. So the high from July 17 is this, right? So you're basically, you're going like this, but there's no, like, there's no touch points to put a downtrend on, right? I mean, there is a lag from comments. Yeah, I know, it's the stream delay. It's the stream delay. It's like natural. It's like 30 seconds, but I'm not sure like which trend you're referring to. And we had maybe it's also because is it different from log to non-log? Maybe, yeah, maybe it's if we go on the non-logarithmic, yeah, but still, I mean, that's the downtrend. You broke above it and pump, right? July 27. You mean that one? But that's just a wick here, right? Okay, I get what you mean. So if you take the wick and this wick, yes, but in all seriousness, I know what you mean. Okay, then you are here, right? But in all seriousness, okay, there you go. Okay, then you're here. But why this? Yeah, why not the candle body? Because if you take the candle body and you ignore the wicks, then you have this horizontal line exactly that I drew out, right? Can you look at Metacade? Yes, absolutely. But thanks for the Andreas. Thanks. I know what you mean, right? This I know what you mean now. This would be it, right? That would be the trend that Andreas means. Let's see. Let's see if it happens. If you take the candle body of the same, you are ending up with the exact horizontal overhead resistance that I have drawn in, right? Of that same high. But then I also, why this high? Why this wick and not this wick? Why not the May 17? Why not the absolute high up here, right? Yeah, I see more confluence here, and then this, and then this, right? You have 4 touch points here. Anyways, it could be awake also now. Yeah, that's true. I get that argument. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, positively, it could be awake only just now. Like wake up, bam down. It could be happening. Yeah. Let's go to Metacade. So DXY just saying like the moment that we turn around here and devalue the dollar more, it's on, right? MCAD USDT Bob. Let me see. Okay, so we are, and this is, I think this is the most, let me see if that's the only, do we have another? Oh, okay, that's the one. That's the one where we drew in a lot of stuff. So we have the highs here, right? We came all the way back down. What I see as positive is that we have higher lows, very likely here also, as this is looking to build a bottoming zone. I think this could be a nice entry also if someone doesn't hold MCAD. We did not hold this support, but that's fine. I guess what is important is like higher highs and higher lows on the macro, and then we will see, right? We will see if we go through something like this in the macro level and break out. I think so. If there's an altcoin season, I think so. Oh fuck. I want to get rid of all this cluttering here. Yeah, basically that's just one way it could turn out, right? Something like that. It did not. Let's see what happens, but basically we have our accumulation zones down here and up there, 2 touch points each. Let's see. It looks like accumulation. I think this could be a good level. And yeah, once this high breaks at almost 5 cents, it's going to be crazy, right? I think I'm very bullish on MCAD because they have really nice fundamentals. I think they have almost no VC money or circulating supply to offload. Yeah, just 1 second here. We can but this stuff is so absolutely funny. I don't know. Like once we're pumping, it's going to look like this, right? Also not the short sellers will on the side. Okay. But anyways, what I wanted to see is the MK Twitter channel, because the most important thing, if you are actually that's not the MK channel. Where's the Metacade? There you go. That's the official one. The important thing is once you have alts, then that they also that they are posting, right? And that's it's still happening, right? They're posting 17 hours ago. They're posting list of top 4 potential gaming altcoins on base. MKate is number 1, which is really good. Base also very likely to attract something. If there's an altcoin season, stuff like this will go just massive. We have 10 weeks green from BTC.D. That sounds sounds to me strange. Yeah, maybe, right? We will see. I thought 2 times already that BTC is probably going to turn, but we will see. Let's see what they have. Huge congrats to the winners. Some contest, times up. Serious impressed by the max content. Also, this content creation. What the heck do they have with this mascot here? The MAX. Okay, so this seems to be a thing. The Zora. Yeah, so the timeline is full of these. They get some engagement, so that looks good. But it's like, where's the content related stuff, right? I dropped a coin on Zora, so they have partnered with the Zora seems, and Zora seems to be like super famous. 251,000 followers, so I get why they are posting so much, because they want all the Zora guys to become Metagate guys. A social network where everyone posts is a coin. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Getting into the depth of the of the internet. By the way, guys, I didn't ask much for it, but could you please smash up the like button? Also, let me know your altcoins that you want to watch here in general. But please smash up the like button. Now we have over 20 people here on this crypto morning coffee, waiting for the next move out of crypto. Pengu is leading the charge today, with actually not Form is 0.1%, but Form and Pango leading the charge, whereas Radium is going down a little bit. The market overall slightly red, the week slightly red. Do you think the metaverse hype still a thing this cycle? It depends. I think it depends on where gaming is directed, right? But it could happen. Also depending on, will the next generation of VR goggles and VR gaming hit in the narrative, like in this, let's say a couple of these crypto games and things go really well, like off the grid with AVAX, and something is happening in this goggle space thing, then I think it could come back, yeah. What do you think about GRT? It's actually one of my favorites, but unfortunately it did suck quite a bit. Here's the graph. Let's get into the chart. There you go, right? So this was a setup that we were looking at. Could it break to the upside? And it did not. We lost the support here, and then basically, yeah. It did not break to the upside. Instead, it formed something like a head and shoulders here and broke down. So the graph, I really like it. I really like the graph. I have the graph. I hodl it also. I'm okay with this still, since this is technically still an uptrend. But yeah, it's more like, it's performing like ETH. It looks the same like ETH, right? So if you're looking at ETH USDT, I think ETH also will come around, right? So for ETH, you have the same thing here, right? So this trend from before broke down, right? It's the same. It's the same. Like, ignore the yellow and focus on this white line for a second, right? So it's the same like in GRT. We can overlay GRT. Maybe we new price scale. But it doesn't keep the relations somehow. Because it's not going on the, yeah, it's not going on the log scale. I don't know how to do this, to be honest. Can I do this here? Put it on log scale, pin to scale, pin to new right scale. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know, but you get the idea, right? When I went to, I can go back to GRT, so we see it, right? I mean, you see how this is similar. That's what I meant, right? But I still think that with all the things that, like, World Liberty Finance buying so much ETH, the ETH ETFs and so on, ETH now finally getting the memo that they have to focus on scaling. I think that also ETH will come around, and once ETH pumps, GRT will pump like crazy as well. I lost a lot of money with AIVO. Hey, Bernard Donaldson, good morning, PH, and to all the patient hodlers, thank you very much. Good morning to you as well. What is AIVO? Why did you lose a lot? Oh, I get it. Okay, so is that it? I mean, it's a massive downtrend, but why did you lose the money? Did you sell? I mean, I don't know about the project enough. Let's see. Evo 345. I saw this before. Hey, what is this? Let's check it out. If there's any. Okay. If there's any chit chat about what is AIVO. AIVO is a high performance layer 2. Yeah, the reason why, like, layer 2s, the problem is now the narrative is basically layer 1 scaling, and all the L1s are scaling. They're doing really well, so everyone is questioning whether we even need layer 2s, right? Like, so layer 2s like Polygon and this AIVO is like also one, right? And it's even an Ethereum based roll up. So it is built on the EVO chain, an Ethereum based roll up using Optimism stack. The exchange uses off chain order books and on chain settlements. Let's see, but yeah, this is the problem. Like, L2s are struggling to find their legitimacy in the space, right? So it has 122k followers, which is quite a good community. They did not post in 3 days, which is still in the realm of okay. They post every 3 days only. But yeah, I mean, could they come back? They can technically, but it's $92 million market cap, and the problem, I think, is that they come from pretty high highs. Where is it? AIVO there. I don't know if there's another longer, better chart. OKX, here we go, right? I don't know who bought into that, but they come from $13 and they are at 10 cents, which is massive. Like, that's crazy. It could be, though, like, I mean, the thing is, what's the perspective of L2s, right? In general, like, will L2s be a thing? I buy around 0.30. Oh, okay, so you did probably buy in this bounce here, maybe, when this looked like a bottom and then there was another sell-off. Like, the volume is always, like, mostly the same. We don't see an end to the downside just yet. I mean, the question is, are they building? How is the stats? How is their TVL? Also, maybe this sell-off could be massive unlocks. So we could look at crypto rank IO and look at the AIVO. Yeah. You should DCA if you like that altcoin. Yeah, but the question is, like, let's go to AIVO here. So let's look at the vesting quickly. What's that? Oh, okay, so it's already gone. Like all the unlocks already happened, so probably everyone that got unlocks sold. So this could, like the last. Wait a second, batch 1. Is this unlock scheme? Is the unlock scheme complete? RBN in circulation, remaining RBN. Why is it RBN? Is that the ticker? RBN? No, it's not, right? It's AIVO, the ticker. Why is there a $RBN? Remaining RBN in circulation. Binance launch pool, 45 million, 30 million, 27 million vested. Untracked. 77% untracked is not. 23% team. 230 million. That's the question. Like, is there any analysis if the team sold? Because that's important, right? Did the team sell? Yeah. Let's see. General info. Is there anything like, okay, so the co-founder is doxed. Then there, like this guy, Julian Co. Yeah, you really need to dig deeper if it's worth DCAing. But just from the chart, I mean, if they are still building and you see a chance that L2s can have a good time, then that's okay. It's an AI play. But in the description, it says it's a L2. So I'm not so sure. I'm not quite sure about this. I'm not so sure. I mean, we looked at the Twitter. I mean, it says in the description on CoinGecko. So if they're not anymore, then an AI play, right? Then they need, or if they are an AI play, not only L2 and whatnot, then not that this excludes itself, but also, right? Where is the like 2 more days? They have some competition here. WCT has been converted from pre-launch to perpetual future. Wallet Connect. I don't see any AI posts though, right? Even though you say it's an AI play, I don't see. AI Wayfinder is a new listing. So they have listings, so they have a marketplace or something like that. Anyways, right? Hey Domvu, what's going on? Yeah, that's, I mean, one stream could be not even enough to begin to look into coin and research and so on, right? And then even also it's not the guarantee. I mean, but I think it's important to look at this stuff, right? Like, how did the fundraising happen? Right, so we see here it launched in 2024, which is okay. I think Pantera Capital is an investor, which is a good sign, I'd say. They allocated 23% to the team, 36% to the DAO treasury. Initial private sale investors 20%, remaining RBNs in circulation. So we see here investors and backers: Coinbase Venture, Pantera Capital, Dragonfly Capital, Paradigm, all the usual suspects. So it's not bad, right? The only thing that I don't like is, to be honest, until now, is the feed on social media. It's just, I mean, maybe they have more quality in the replies. No, they don't reply to anyone. Like here, for example, they only have their own posts. They don't reply to anyone. Yeah, so yeah, it's just doesn't excite me. Let's be honest. Doesn't excite me here. What else? So top one. So Pengu is doing really well at the moment. Pengu has some hype, and that's good, right? Pengu is good for the overall space because it's NFT and so on. Pengu is really probably the reason why people are looking for NFTs. Which brings me to Omi, right? Let's see if there's anything new on the Omi front. We're still red. Oops. Let's go to the daily. Let's see if we have anything. So yesterday, whoops, we just had a green blip. Yesterday we had another spike up to 0002, right? 001962. We still don't see. We see some buying and selling going on right now. We might bounce here, hopefully. What we still need to see is that on any given time frame, we're taking out highs for Omi, right? Let's see. We're observing this as a potential bottom formation, but it's way too early to tell. We saw this many times before. Veve, on the other hand, has some really nice drops lined up. Some really nice drops. We had the Stormtrooper drop. We will have the Mandalorian and the Stormtrooper mask drop coming up. Also, someone hit this guy. He did hit level 100, which is not so easy. Let's follow him back. We follow level 100 back. Garnet Edwin Chua that hit the level 100. Grogu in Pram. Yeah. We have Grogu. Where is it? Like so much. Which Star Wars trooper is your favorite from today's trooper collection? People say the Shadow Trooper. No one likes the Mimban Trooper, so that was my favorite. Why don't they like the Mimban? Take a look at RLC if you want. Let's see. Now we are at the Veve stuff. So they had this issue. The issue has been resolved. That is good. Why is the issue post like more visuals than the Stormtrooper request here? But where is the Grogu drop post here? Let's see. Here it is. Visit our website veve.me/Star Wars. They have an own subsite. 1.8 average price. Yeah, here we go. Right, they did the Veve. They did their own Star Wars page for these NFTs. Now they have this mask. If you're, by the way, this is also good. New get 10 gems for free, which means you only need another $10 to be able to get one of the lower Star Wars collectibles there. So the problem, in my opinion, here's the article. Read the article. So the problem with this drop, to be honest, is you can either go for this Grogu for $20, or and all these other guys, right? But it's selective, so you select which one you get, or you can get the 3D collectible animation and so on for $70, right? And there's 1,000 of those. So Grogu in Pram, that's the one, but it's $70, right? I'm still thinking, right? Do I get it? Do I go? Yeah, Mark D says Mimban was my favorite. I'm glad you're feeling that way. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, should I go for this? I don't know. I would have to top up so much gems, but on the other hand, it's the best looking collectible. I mean, it's Grogu, right? We'll see. We'll do it on stream, guys. We'll do this drop on stream. It's very likely we are going to go for this on stream. It's 10th of May. It's in 4 days. We will do the Grogu stream. And very likely we're going for the animated. Just being degenerate as we are. But that is good. And then, like, in general, like, I really like the Star Wars page. I hope that this turns out to be a good thing. They have the Mandalorian comic. They have the frame, #1 frame. So they're doing all around this Mandalorian thing from May the 4th on, starting with those troopers. Maybe they should, I don't know if it would have changed much to put out the Grogu on May the 4th. But they did all the posts on May the 4th. Grogu in Pram will be a thing of legend. Okay, so then we'll put on the hat on the 10th and go for Grogu in Pram and hope we get a nice mint, like maybe a mint that is significant. Also for this, let's hope. There are only 1,000 of those, but I'm not sure if it will sell out at this price point. We will see, but we should be able to get one. And then there is these guys, right? Also learn more. Let's see. The pod racers, right? These are really nice. So, and then you can even craft the base, the matching base for the pod racer. These are $30. And it's dropping on the 19th of May, which we're also probably going to cover. The Pit Droid, this is the Chase variant. This is a blind box, I guess, so you don't choose which of the pod races you get, but I think you can't. Like, I mean, I personally like this one, I like this one, I like all of them. And if I get the Pit Droid, I'm also happy. But this is going to be good as well. So we're going to do this one as well. We're going to do all the Star Wars droppers on stream, I'd say. Let's see. But anyways, guys, already 1 hour online here. So make sure to smash up the like button here. 20 people constantly here. That is good. Subscribe to the channel. Notifications on. And yeah, for today, that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for discussing with me, looking at some of the altcoins. We'll be back for more streams. Also, be subscribed for the drop streams, notifications on when they're happening. Also for new videos, if there are any indicators flashing that that look like bull run, then we're going to do it as well. Mark D says Grogu at 1,000 copies is one of the best things on the app. So you're a really hard Grogu fan. I like that. Also, if you watch this later, let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this. We can be excited for tomorrow when the next FOMC meeting hits. It's only tomorrow in the evening, so tomorrow Crypto Morning Coffee will be still probably steady price action. But yeah, we'll see. So guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next episode of Crypto Morning Coffee, on the next drop stream, or on one of the videos. Bye.